of Palestine can ever completely waive its right to self-determination and sovereignty?
No, not at all. I don't believe that they have any right for self-determination or sovereignty. And by the way, even if they were not Palestinian but Swedish or Norwegian or Eskimos, they don't have right to self-determination anywhere from the river to the sea in my land. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jewish Dawa. I'm Inon Dan Kihati, also known as the Big Cabal. And today I have the awesome honor to have for discussion or maybe a debate David Malovani. He has an initiative called the movement to pull out of the State of Palestine. Is that right?
The movement to exit State of Palestine.
And as you can hear from his description, we definitely have 180 degrees probably disagreements about his plan, and he will disagree about my vision. But here we are, Am Israel, we are one people, we are big family, and it's important to have discussions, and especially with people that we don't agree with, and maybe find things to agree, something to disagree, but especially to clarify. So without further ado, you guys know me. I support the restoration of Israeli sovereignty and inclusion of Palestinians this way or the other in the state of Israel, and also the process that we're going to talk before that, because the process is not less important than the solution. But without further ado, we'll give David the stage to introduce himself, what he believes in, and then we're going to do some Q&A where he's going to ask me questions and I'm going to ask him questions. So David, please, stage is yours.
Thank you, Inon. Thank you for having me. My name is David Malovani, and in 2 weeks' time I will be 67. By profession, I'm an organizational consultant with more than 25 years experience, which I'm focused and I'm professional on solving for businesses and organizations unsolvable challenges. In addition, I'm a social and a peace activist. In the past, I led in Israel and Europe a revolution in aviation consumerism, introduction a new perspective to the field. I fought against some of the largest airlines in the world, like Delta and British Airways, and I won. I broke conventions and managed to save Israeli and European tens of billions of euros, and they don't even know it. This was all achieved by court through change in language. After completing the aviation consumerism challenge, I found myself drawn to a path that I believe help Israel and its citizens move to the concept of Palestinian state. What connects both cases is the challenge of language, explaining the obvious. Even in the aviation struggle, I had to convince others to understand and accept the obvious. The flight ticket is the property of the passenger, not property of the airlines, only the passengers. It wasn't the case in the past. At the start, the whole world said it's impossible. In the new challenge for 2027, we call our movement 2027, the movement to exit State of Palestine. We also need to convince people the obvious, that the State of Palestine is already exists. It's not a country that have to be established or to be born, but it already exists. It's not something that need to be created. When these facts deeply internalize in significant portion of Israeli, we will be able to say that the solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is within reach. 2027 movement to exist State of Palestine use only the power of the language. and the terminology. In contrast, the 2027, the movement to exit State of Palestine, is a movement of Israeli that focus on resolving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict by changing the way Israeli and the international community refer to the occupied State of Palestine. Founded on the principle that language shapes reality, we, the 2027 movement, advocate for replacing misconception terms like West Bank or Judea and Samaria and what we call Hebrew Shtachim with the right term. It's the State of Palestine. We don't call the Israeli people that live in State of Palestine settlers. We call them Israelis that live in State of Palestine. We don't call settlers like Itnachluyot. We call Israeli settlement in the State of Palestine. It's very, very important to understand the legal structure. We as a movement believe that the terminology shift is a critical step toward to ending the occupation and achieving lasting peace. We 2027 movements argument are roots in the belief that the continued use of misconception terms like West Bank or Shtachim or territories normalize the abnormal political reality, but not by not treating the people in the area as a normal citizen, and thus allow the continuation of the occupation without widespread recognition of this situation and normalizing the term State of Palestine. The movement aims is to solidify the experience of Palestinian state in the mind of the of the Palestinian state in the mind of the Israeli, Palestinian, and the global community. This will pave to the way for two-state solution by framing the issue in terms of international law and sovereignty rather than religious and historical claim. This is, in very short, our point of view.
It wasn't very short, I must say. It was pretty long, but okay. So I understand where you come from. You come from the premise of that the only solution is a two-state solution, and that there's already a state called Palestine, right?
At the moment, 1953 countries recognize the state of Palestine, and they see the Palestine as a state. Those countries feel about most of the population of the world. So it's not my point of view. It's my point of view of 93% of the population in the world.
Okay, so does it mean that what the world decides for us, we need to follow along without us having any say in this?
It's not only this, because there is two judge, one in 2021, the court in Hague declare State of Palestine as a state and say for the international law point of view, it's a state and its border is the Green Line. And there is a United Nations decision.
Okay.
Israel must going from the international law. If we wouldn't go by the international law, we can't afterwards said anything against anyone that doing us or attacked us against the international law.
Okay, I disagree with your premise dearly.
Okay.
And I think that what you base your ideology is something that has no validity in our region. And we will get to that sooner. But let's start with
Why you
the
say
questions.
that? Why you say it's not valid?
Wait a second. Wait, hold on. I suggested we will start with the questions and answer, and then we're gonna clarify our differences. So please, I will ask you the first question, and then you will ask me the first question. We do back and forth.
Yes, ask
All
me the
right.
first questions.
Great. Okay. Okay. So my first question to you, David, is: in order to accept the two-state solution, the Palestinians would have to give up on 78% of what they see as their homeland, and all of this in order to accept an independent state that would not be fully sovereign and only in 22% of the territory they see as their homeland. Will the Palestinian state be fully sovereign? Will it have an army, control over its borders, and its own currency? Do you believe that the establishment of a Palestinian state in 22% of the territory will lead to the realization of the aspirations of the Palestinians themselves?
Thank you. Nice questions. Not only the state of Palestine citizens will need to give up the dream. Many Israel will need to give up the dream. Like the dream of two banks of Jordan, this one, ours and these two, and another nice dream to live in the only land.
So basically, you agree that the Palestinians need to give up on 78% of what they see as their homeland. Do you think that they themselves? Do you think, wait, hold on. Do you think that they themselves will give up on that?
Yes, they gave up already.
They gave up on that. You sure?
Yes, of course. Yes.
You sure? Do you know Palestinians that don't see Palestine?
Yes.
That see Palestine as only the West, as only Judea. Do you know Palestinians that only see Palestine as Judea and Samaria?
Yeah,
and not the entire land of Israel?
I have many friends like this.
How
like
many?
Samer Giuliani, Mahmoud Abbas.
Who? Samer Sinjilawi.
Sinjilawi, yes.
He's a great guy, by the way. He's a friend of mine, but unfortunately, he doesn't represent the majority of the Palestinians themselves.
Mahmoud Abbas, for example, in the famous 2012 interview with Udi Segal, stated that despite being born in Tzfat, he will be, just a minute, he will be content to visit East as a tourist.
But he didn't say that all the Palestinians will not.
No, just a minute. And would limit the Palestinian state to the Green Line border with land exchange or swap.
Yeah, but the Mahmoud Abbas is deeply unpopular in the Palestinian people themselves. So you need legitimate leadership also to legitimize the solution from both sides, by the way. No?
I can tell you that in 1974, maybe you're born there, maybe not.
You talk about the stage plans of the plans of the PLO?
No, just a minute.
Okay.
Nearly 98% of the Egyptian thought that Israeli should be destroyed.
And they still do, by the way, unfortunately.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, we have good relations with their leadership. But the people in Egypt, evidently, and I speak with a lot of people on social media, let's say they don't really like us. Actually, they are very anti-Semitic.
I don't want them to like me. I want to make agreement that will make the living in Israel safe and sure, with good borders and good agreements. You know, most of the light in Egypt came from the gas or electricity from Israel. So maybe the mess don't like us, but we make agreement with them. Also,
I actually think that this kind of solution or paradigm will lead to them to dislike us even more, disrespect us even more, because the way that you portray things, with all due respect, is like a European that doesn't really have connection to this land,
No,
to
no.
the Middle East. And by the
I've
way,
got
another question, if I
connection
may.
to
Another,
Palestinian from Ramallah, from Bejala, from
yeah, but you have
Bethlehem, from
connection to the elites. It's not the
No,
majority.
no,
It's
not
not the.
elite, not
It's not the
elite.
popular voice, and I know the
But
Palestinian
this,
popular voice for good and bad.
what is count is the leaders.
The leaders that represent. So this is legitimate decision to take a decision or a choice that doesn't represent the majority. That doesn't sound legitimate to me, my friend.
Okay, let me complete the answer.
Okay.
So Mahmoud Abbas said also in many forums to Macron, to the president of China, to the president of Russia, in the UN, everywhere, said that Israeli have the right to exist by the 67 border. You don't even have one person in the Israeli government that says similar things. And
they shouldn't, by the way. We shouldn't recognize any other foreign sovereignty in our land, if you ask me.
No. Actually, by the international law, beyond the Green Line is State of Palestine.
The international law doesn't play a role in our region,
even
by the way.
The Israeli law.
It's just for declaration, but in our region,
by the Israeli
traditional values play much greater role. And you cannot change that. You cannot, no matter how much you try, my friend. No matter how much you try.
Maybe all the Lebanese, the people that live in Lebanon hate Israel. So what? What we can do with this?
I will explain to you further when we advance.
We will not accept the border.
But another question that I asked and you didn't answer me. Will the Palestinian state that you support, will it have an army and control over its borders?
No, I will continue. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Please.
I want to say another sentence that I told you that all the countries in the world that recognize State of Palestine recognize the state. Just a minute. I will come to the army and the border and the currency. I will come. I will not forget. Just a minute. All the 93 countries, including 93% of the world population, they are already recognized State of Palestine in the Green Line border. Just a minute. The Green Line border is determined in 1949 in the peace in Rhodes Agreement between Israel and Jordan. And Jordan can give the Palestinian only what belongs to it. Jordan can't give to Palestinian what belongs by international law to Israel.
You know what? If 95% of the world will tell us to give up on our land, should we accept that?
Not our land. It's not your land. Even by
Israel,
the Israeli law.
If 95% of the world will tell us, the Jews, to leave and go back to where we allegedly came from, we should, according to your logic, we should listen to them and go back to Europe and the Middle East.
No. The law, the international law, is fair law, is white law. And it's not said anything. It's actually. It will be very strange for you. You know the definition of the Israeli that live in State of Palestine, that they are definite as a criminal war. It came from the Bible.
You mean the holy settlers that live in Judea and Samaria?
Yes. They by the international law are world crime.
Praise them, by the way. These are awesome, fine people. I don't agree, by the way, with the actions of the vigilante.
They are very nice people. I know.
I'll be honest with you. I don't agree with the vigilante when they go and burn cars or uproot trees, even though in some contexts there's also attacks of Palestinians against them. But I'm not gonna get into justify everything just because they are Jewish, and I support them 100%. but
Okay,
they are the torch carriers of our people. We can disagree about that.
I agree.
But again, but I ask you a question. What will be
According to
with
the
the
army,
arm?
just a minute, I will come to the army and I will come to the currency. Just a minute. The Israeli that live in State of Palestine, they are very good people. Most of them.
You mean the Jews living in Judea and Samaria?
Yeah. Yes, you said Judea and Samaria, I said State of Palestine.
Why? By the way, do you call it West Bank or Judea and
No,
Samaria?
I'm not calling West Bank.
Why not? Now, why not calling it Judea? The region of Judea. I mean,
Because
you know what? The region of Judea.
it's a legal state.
You know what? The region of Judea in the State of Palestine. Can we agree about that? Maybe.
No, because
Why not?
I can say it Ramat Gan in State of Israel. But Judah and Samaria, it's
It's
just a
historical
name.
name of
It's name
a
of
region that was
territory.
there
It's not
for time
it's not
and
the
ever.
name.
No.
It's
Why?
not
Why to
name.
erase history? Your own history as a Jew. Why? Why?
I can tell you.
You know that we are called Jews because we came from this region, Judea.
I relate to the area by its legal context, if you know what I mean.
So basically, you're saying that the history starts at 1948 or something like that, and what was before doesn't count.
No, legally, no, it's not counted.
Okay. So basically,
I can tell you.
everything relates to 1948, and before that, nothing. Okay. All right. Interesting point of view.
From legal point of view, Israel responsible only for the day.
We're gonna get to that because I also want to add but we have a conversation, my friend. It's let's try to get one question, but you still didn't answer me regarding my important question: will the Palestinian state that you support of gonna have an army and control over its borders and currency?
No.
So it's not gonna be sovereign country. So it's not gonna be sovereign country anyway. So what's the point?
No. I tell you, no country in the world, it's 100% sovereignty. Even
so it's not going to be a sovereign country. So
just a minute.
So you are humiliating the Palestinians right now.
Japan and Germany, after the World War II, get independent, but it was without army.
Okay, so you basically say that you support a state which is not sovereign, which is the State of Palestine, and you also assume that the Palestinians themselves gonna accept that and gonna clap, right?
In the two attempt of a peace agreement without Barak, and in both cases they give up the matter of army, heavy army, I mean.
So basically, according to your logic, Hamas has to be disarmed, and that's going to happen, you think, right?
Yes, and actually, it's in days, these days, the government of State of Palestine from Ramallah sent officials and policemen to the east side of State of Palestine, what you call Gaza, and then they going to rule them. And of course, I'm agree that Hamas should have this arm.
I agree with you too. I don't think that they agree.
I know.
So how do you enforce that? And how you make sure?
This is my point of view.
How you make sure without controlling there?
I think it's possible.
And by the way, we didn't even speak about the education system. We didn't speak about that either. But I think that you're presenting a solution, number one, which is not legitimate to the Palestinians themselves and cannot be enforced on the ground. And it's not bringing any dignity to the Palestinians themselves.
And if the Palestinian will agree, you will support.
You are basically suggesting something that has no viability on the ground and is humiliating to the Palestinians themselves. Because you want them to accept from you, the enlightened, something that they themselves do not want to take.
I'm not sure at all. It's not right.
I think that you are not understanding their identity. With all due respect.
Yes, just a minute. I want to answer you about the army. I gave you an answer. I think the State of Palestine should have only police force and not
Well, what
army
if they
force.
do? What if they want an army? What would you say? Is that your decision to tell them if they have an army or not?
Yes,
Yeah,
there is
it's your
agreement.
decision.
It's like agreement in Egypt
So you
or agreement
basically,
in Lebanon.
you're basically, they are not sovereign. You are the sovereign, basically. Still,
I told you before, no country on the world have 100% sovereignty. Even not
again, I
Israel.
mean, we're talking about
Israel,
will
for
of
example,
people, my
have
friend, David,
100%
my
sovereignty.
friend. We're talking about the will of people, and you are now talking about democracy. This is not. This doesn't sound democratic to me or legitimate to me, whether I like it or not. By the way, but okay, let's continue. I want you, if you may, please ask me a question.
No, I want to answer you about the currency.
Okay.
You know that Israel and State of Palestine make agreement in 2012
By the way, sorry to cut
by
you here. I want to hear what you say. I just want you to let you know, you claim that Palestine will be sovereign, right?
not 100%.
Okay, so it's not going to be so. Okay, because sovereignty means monopoly on use on violence. But okay,
Is
so it's not going to be sovereign. Okay.
okay, and this agreement was was in Israeli demand. You see, State of Palestine get custom. Only states get custom. The custom the State of Palestine get from Israel. Israel get all the goods that's supposed to come to State of Palestine, collect the custom and gave it to the State of Palestine. In this
Okay.
agreement, and this is also a point that you can make and uh, can bring you to understanding that State of Palestine is a state because only states get custom. For example, I'm living Shoham, and if you
Nice
will
city,
bring
by the way.
me,
Very nice town. They have very nice.
thank
It's a
you
very
very
nice
much.
town.
If you will give me, for example, a car, you will sell me a car. I wouldn't charge you custom because cities don't allow to charge custom. States allowed to charge custom.
Okay.
So in this agreement, Israeli demand State of Palestine that they will sign on commitment that they wouldn't uh, issue a currency.
So they will not have their own
The
unique
reason, the
currency.
reason, the reason the State of Palestine
So
don't
they will
have
not have
currency,
their own unique currency, basically.
they use the shekel and the dinar.
They will still use the shekel and the dinar. They will not have their own
Yeah,
currency.
yes,
Okay,
because
again, not a real state, basically. Yeah, okay.
there is actually 7 states in the world without except the European Union.
Okay.
There is another seven
And what's going
states
to
that
happen if the Palestinian themselves, the people themselves, will say, we want the currency? Can they choose to have a currency?
not going like this. Currency is going from banks. It's have to be recognized. It's not that easy. People want currency.
Okay, we got to this point now.
People can make currency. Me and you can make a currency, but only you and me accept it. If you want to make a good currency, you should get the acceptance of the
Gonna be
world,
honest
all
with you.
the
I mean, you
people.
talk with a lot of terminology and a lot of, but you distract from the very fact or the very point, the bottom line. It's not gonna be a state anyway, even the way you describe it. But let's continue on because I want you to ask me a question.
From what I'm here, Trump, our very nice, going to recognize State of Palestine. So what you will say then?
I will say no. I will resist. I will resist, and I will.
You will resist,
yes.
And if he will cut his support, what you'll do?
Then we will have no support. Then we will get along like we got along in 1948 and 1967.
It wouldn't happen.
Okay,
it wouldn't happen at all because you know.
By the way, I think that we need to cut the support from the Americans that they gave us $3 billion. I think we need to initiate to stop getting that from them and be a real ally of the U.S. and not to be a courtesy state or a vassal state of the US. Just my opinion. You don't have to agree.
Okay. I want to ask you, considering the enormous power gap between the State of Israel and the State of Palestine, and despite many number of counter-terror operation ongoing over 50 years, how do you explain the fact that the violence of the Palestinian resistance on upward trend? Doesn't this data indicate that all the idea to oppose the Palestinian only from military, it doesn't exist? How do you explain it to yourself?
If I can understand, you basically say that the fact that they still continue and struggle and use violence and terrorism, how do I explain that they still have this? That they still have the determination. That's what you say?
Yes.
I will tell you honestly, because they do have connection to this land, because they do have
connection to what? I didn't hear.
They do have connection to this land. I'm not saying that. I never said that the Palestinians do not belong to this land. I never said that. Actually, even those of them, I say it from a biblical point of view. When we coming back to our land, even the non-Jews will be part of the Jewish system here. So the non-Jews, the Palestinians, Muslims, Christians, even Jews that are in our land, they're also part of this land. But it's not, you see.
And if it's part of this land, they can be citizens of State of Israel from your point of view?
In certain conditions, yes, of course, with loyalty, with doing their duties, with surrendering their arms, with stopping the resistance, and so on and so forth. Yeah, why not?
So from your point of view, if I understand, you said that Israel, for let's say everything will be okay, will be half Muslim and half Jewish.
Even if it's gonna be half Muslim and half Jewish, even if we're gonna maintain Jewish rule here by the Constitution, the way
Jewish
I see
what?
it, you don't. Jewish rule, RULE, rule. Yeah.
How it's happened?
I can explain more in depth, but the Constitution, the structure of the state, the terms of non-Jews and also Jews, by the way, to be politically, to choose and elect and be elected to play a political role, that should be conditioned for everybody. That's what I believe. But we're gonna get to that. You don't have to agree. It's okay. We differ. It's okay. But here I say there's gonna be Jewish rule from the river to the sea. We're not just gonna be partners and gonna be within that framework. If you do not like it,
they will have equal rights.
They will have equal opportunities. They will have obligations and rights, exactly like Jews in a Jewish system. Sorry.
Listen, it's the same words that I heard from people in South Africa and Rhodesia.
Basically,
it's very nice.
Okay.
It's very nice. You see, there is only two options. Apartheid or equal rights. There is nothing in the middle. Even
tell me what apartheid. Please tell me what apartheid. You know what? Does Israel today that rules over Muslims, is that apartheid too?
If it's, you mean the citizen in Palestine or the Israeli citizen
in the current state of Israel? Does the Muslims, that by the way,
they have the right to vote.
Okay, so by the way, do you agree that Haredi that doesn't go to the army, they should also have the right to vote?
Yes.
Yeah? Oh, interesting. And by the way, do you agree that the settler that uses violence against the army, they also should have the right to vote?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Does someone who is a terrorist in Israel, a Palestinian that identify himself as a Palestinian living in Israel, supporting Hamas, should he have also the right to vote?
Yes.
Should he also have the right to establish a political party?
If he
Should he also
Israeli,
have the right to establish a political party that is anti-Zionist?
no,
No,
it's by the Israeli law.
by the
You
Israeli law.
can
Okay, so
establish in
okay.
Israel a party, just a minute. There is a law. You can establish in Israel a party that against the Judaism.
So okay, I got you. All right. Anyway, next question.
It's your turn.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. From Article 28 of the Hamas Charter, Israel, with its Judaism and with its Jewishness, challenges Islam and Muslims. From Article 31 of the Hamas Charter, the Islamic resistance movement is a humane movement that respects human rights and upholds Islam's tolerance towards followers of other religions. Therefore, under the rule of Islam, followers of the three religions, Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, can live together in complete security. And complete security will not be possible except under the rule of Islam. It is upon all followers of other religions to cease fighting against Islam's sovereignty over this region. End quote. Palestine is considered to be an Islamic Waqf land. According to Islamic interpretation, non-Muslims are allowed to live on Waqf land, but they are not allowed to be sovereign over it. Therefore, the iron principle is that a Jewish state in any part of the land of Israel, or what do you refer to as Palestine or the West Bank, or Israel proper, is an issue that must be opposed and fought against. How do you deal with the Islamic religious issue? How do you deal with the fact that even in the 80% of what you refer to as the legitimate state of Israel, the Islamic interpretation still will be against and still going to fight it? How do you deal with that?
Okay, very nice questions. The Israeli have the same problem. Israeli and Jews can also be criticized for their beliefs about the divine promise of the land and the Jewish superiority.
Let me just guess something. Sorry to cut you. You basically
just let me finish.
Sure.
Sentence.
Sorry. You're right. I agree.
Ideas that have changed dramatically over the years. The extremist movement on both sides will have to revise their views. In fact, even Hamas has expressed in certain time a willingness to agree to the 67 borders.
But not to recognize Israel. Not to recognize Israel,
No,
but as a step.
Just a minute.
As a step. I'm just correcting you and putting you in line with what they really mean.
I don't see many Israeli that recognize State of Palestine.
Baruch Hashem, thank goodness, and they're less and less.
Why you have claims to Hamas? They're the same. They're the same coin in two sides.
You see this book behind me? You see this book?
Let me finish the sentence.
Okay, go ahead.
Even Hamas agreed to 67 borders as a part of agreement.
They didn't agree to end the war, by the way, and didn't agree to peace. That's for them. I must say it. It's a temporary. It's a temporary step on the fight against us. So it's not a valid argument.
Even in 1949, when they make agreement in Rhodes, they didn't say the war is finished. The stupidity is in both sides.
So you basically think that we should give up on these lands and not accept peace? They will be stronger? That's what you suggest?
Accept agreement. Just a minute.
Okay.
Let me finish. Agreement with State of Israel. Even if they sign, I tell you, I'm work a lot with many lawyers and I'm doing a lot of legal work, and I can tell you that if you will sign agreement with me, you have to recognize me, because it's a nonsense. All the thing that what we call I recognize State of Palestine. We're doing every day agreement with State of Palestine, and even we sign agreement with Hamas to release the hostages. So what is the bullshit that I'm recognized, not recognized? It's like a 5 years children.
Wait, so they shouldn't
Just
recognize
a minute,
Israel, or
just a
they should
minute,
recognize
just a
Israel?
minute. I want to say you a very, very important sentence.
I want to hear you, but you still didn't address anything of what I said regarding the Islamic interpretation that is
No, no,
against any
I
Jewish
tell you,
sovereignty,
all the Islamic,
against any Jewish sovereignty anywhere in the land.
what you
Even in
saying
1%
on
of
the
the land,
Rabbi
they will not
Tau,
accept
what you
Jewish
said on the
sovereignty.
Rabbi Tau. You know, every side has a religious people, extremists, and in both sides, we're the same. It's not only them have.
You,
We
you,
have
you, you do
two.
not have answer regarding the Islamic interpretation and the Islamic problem. You do not have an answer, my friend.
I'm not, listen,
Have you, by the
the
way, read the
problem,
Quran? Do you know where they come from? What is their
I know,
aspirations?
listen, I have a speech in what we call Ahmadim in Haifa, which is
Ahmadim are a great community, but they represent tiny, 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 tiny minority in the Muslim world, not to mention in
only
Israel.
200 millions. Listen, let me finish,
By the way,
okay?
I wrote
Let me
about it in
finish.
this book. You see this book?
I will
I
read
really
it.
recommend to you. I even will give it for you for free because I
I
really
know
think that you should know
I
this
can afford to
information.
buy it. It's not matter. You can go to any extremist and to quote him like a Tau rabbi or many people that living in Eli or
God
Israeli that
bless
live in
them.
State
God
of
bless them.
Palestine or Kalner, if you know him from Eli.
May Hashem bless them. Great people. I agree.
Okay, nice people, but they are the same like the Islamistic. But what I have to tell you another thing is that any solid agreement must include mutual closet binding the two states, prohibiting any political, religious activist that denies the right of the other state to exist. I can explain you again. When we going to make a peace agreement with State of Palestine, State of Palestine and State of Israel had to comment in the agreement that they wouldn't allow any political or religious party that will deny the other country. It's like it somehow is somewhat similar to a law in some country that prohibits the Holocaust denial. It's a bit difficult. I know it's a problem, but the other option is only blood on the roads. There is no other option.
Of course there is. There's a
It's
lot
not.
of options. Do you think one simple
It's not
question, do you
that you
believe
give me a solution. Just a minute.
one question. You talk, I listen. Now I want to make a dialogue. It's not only a
Okay,
monologue. Thank you.
okay.
Do you believe that the two-state solution is the only solution?
Uh,
Be honest.
yes,
I
yes,
know. So you basically
yes.
think in the religious ways about what you believe is that the two-state solution is the only solution. There's nothing can be one state or
No,
cantons or
no.
federation. Okay, so
It's
you're
just
basically.
a minute.
I think honestly,
I
I
complete my
didn't finish. I didn't
questions.
finish. I didn't
We
finish.
can make
I didn't
federation.
finish. I didn't finish. I think honestly
Okay.
that the way that you think about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is not less religious than most of the extremists, but you do it from another angle. That's my opinion.
I can tell you one thing. You see, German.
With all due respect, because you are a nice guy, really. I
Okay,
don't say
thank
it
you
to you
very
as
much.
ad hominem. You are probably very good midot, very good values as a person. But I think
Thank
that
you.
the way that you look at the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, you look at it in a religious way, but from an
Not a
anti.
religious way. I'm looking at it in a legal way. Absolutely not religious way. Absolutely not.
How can you, by
Only
the way,
legal.
also important
Only
question,
by the
how can you
international
address,
law and
David,
the
how can you address a conflict that has so many religious traits, not to mention that at least 80% of the inhabitants of our land have strong religious beliefs?
I know there is a very strong religious belief in on both sides. I know it. I'm talking to people. I'm talking to Arabs. I have friends in Gaza. I have friends in Israeli settlement in State of Palestine. I'm talking from people in
Again,
Egypt.
I'm not saying that you're a bad person or vicious.
I know it,
I'm not saying that.
but I think a good leaders, smart leaders, can make a fantastic peace agreement between State of Israel and State of Palestine that in 30 years' time, our grandson wouldn't even know why was the war.
Okay.
There is no real reason to the war. There is no real reason.
I think that you
Even,
ignore.
even,
I think that you
even,
ignore.
even,
I think that you ignore not because you are a bad person. I think that you ignore fundamental elements from our conflict that without being addressed,
there is fundamental,
which is the religious root of the conflict, which is the lack of Islam acceptance that there is going to be any Jewish rule in this land, and you cannot address that because you do not know what is their aspirations. And I'm gonna be also gonna give you something optimistic. There is another interpretation for the Holy Scriptures, especially theirs, and also ours, but especially theirs. That's in my book, but we're gonna get to that if you want after that. But let's continue with the Q&A, if you may. And now it's the time for your question to me, the second
time
one.
for your questions. Okay, let me find it.
Again, I'm not saying, not because I don't want to hear you, but we can speak for long. Maybe we can do part two, but it's important that we will try to make, like let it flow and speak
Okay,
about cover the issues.
I will ask you the question, please. Okay, you ready?
Sure.
Given the global trend and the growing support of the recognition of State of Palestine, as even in United States, 60% of the citizens support recognition to State of Palestine. In Europe, and the fact that over 90% of the world citizens live in countries that recognize State of Palestine within the Green Line border. What steps do you believe the State of Israel should take in light of those facts? So how
Great
do you
question.
relate
Great question.
all the world, you see, when we were child, we said, if people said you are tired, go to sleep. It doesn't feel what you feel. It doesn't mean what you feel. If most of the world, most of the countries that are friend of us and support us, support State of Palestine and recognize State of Palestine, what are you gonna do with this? There is a special law in many countries.
Okay, you ask a question. You want an answer?
Just a minute, I will finish it. There is a special law in the countries that prohibit to make businesses with the people with Israeli that live in State of Palestine, and now it's much more worse that they're going to make a law, arrest and find if you come to Europe, and even to New York now. They have new mayor. Bibi wouldn't land in New York at this time.
Okay, I understand.
Just a minute. Most of the world tell you, and you depend on the world. We can't live only by ourselves. Av levedad ishkon. We can't. Israel wouldn't. You going to destroy Israel?
What is the question again?
How do you relate to these facts?
Okay, number one, they already tried to destroy us, and we did establish a state, Baruch Hashem, against all odds and against the world.
It's not the same.
That's number one. We already done that. That's number one. Number two, I obviously gonna say to the world, look, you're right. We need to take responsibility. Yes. And you know what? I agree with you that the status quo that was being done from the 2000s until now was not really good either for us or for them. So I will do the following. If you ask me, I say we should start and take responsibility, start restore our sovereignty gradually, not everything overnight, and give the Palestinians three options in certain areas, and maybe
You
even
can't do it.
wait, I didn't finish. You want me, you don't want my answer?
I'm
Can I
listening.
finish? You ask a question. I think I have the, the right even to say but you didn't even listen to what I say.
I'm listening.
Thank you. The options we need to pose to them is three. Option number one, you want to fight, bring it on, you're going to suffer. If you want war with us, you're going to suffer. That's what happened now. I do not want that, and I know that you also do not want that. But that's option number one. Option number two, out of the three, if you do not want to accept our rule, if you do not accept the legitimacy of us coming back to our land and gonna restore our sovereignty also in Judea and Samaria, here the door is open. Go to Jordan, go to Syria, go to Europe, go to the United States, maybe to Africa. Get out. Option number three, if you accept our legitimacy and you accept our rule, if you want to have partnership with us, if you want to tie your destiny with us, come join, be part of the State of Israel, be and enjoy and prosper with us and with the blessings that the return to Zion brought. And we can find a way to make partnership that will maintain the rights, the traditions, what is holy to us and also to them, but not under their rule. No. And how I'm going to do that? Me personally, it's not something that should start overnight with everything overnight. It should start gradually. I would take a couple of villages, for example, in the Gush Etzion area, where it's already joint life between Muslims and Jews. And I will say to them, here you have now a possibility out of the three options. You want to accept it? Great. You have citizen, you have residency and a pathway to citizenship. If there's going to be Israeli police, if you're going to be part of Israel, and if we see that everything goes along and the prototype succeeds, we're going to expand it to more areas. And that's what I'm saying. We're going to take responsibility, and we're not going to give up parts of our land that sooner or later, if we're going to go out from there, exactly what happened in Gaza when we pulled off in 2005. Exactly the same thing going to happen in Judea and Samaria. So that's my answer.
Thank you. You think, according to your answer, you think the world, if make this special law against Israel, no export, no visit, like will be like North Korea.
Okay, hold on. I understand what you're getting. Very valid question.
Just a minute.
Very
You
valid.
think Israeli will exist?
Very valid question. If indeed the Palestinians will accept what I say, who cares about what the world say? I mean, do I need the agreement? Wait, hold on. Do we need the agreement of the world regarding what's happening in our land, or do we need the validity and the legitimization of the people living in our land? This is my question.
Listen, I will answer you. It's
if the Palestinians, let's say hypothetically, like your solution is hypothetical, also mine. Let's say that hypothetically,
my solution is recognized by most of the world.
Fine, but not by us.
Okay.
Let's say that the Palestinians accept my solution. Does the world have any legitimacy to oppose that?
Yes.
Yes. If the Palestinians accept, if the Jews and the Palestinians accept about something like this, do the world have a say about what's happening in our land? Really?
No, the Palestinian wouldn't accept. That's for sure.
But if they will, like you, it's a what if. We both you and me are in the game of what if.
The difference between you and me.
Yeah.
I hold opinion that's belong to most of the world.
Okay.
And your opinion, it doesn't have any base on anything. I will tell you why. Listen, State of Palestine. Listen, just a minute. State of Palestine declare itself as a state in 1988. Nearly nobody recognized then State of Palestine. Only few Arab states. And the number that recognize State of Palestine grow very, very smoothly till 2012 when they recognize in the UN as observer state, and in 2024 they are recognized as observer state with rights of member states. It's combination of Israeli and United States, because United States all the time put veto on the membership of State of Palestine. They want them only to be observer state in the State of Palestine. Now, in no time during this nearly 50 years, is nobody in Israel said what you said, or maybe only few.
Unfortunately, you're right.
Just a minute. But most of the world say what I'm saying. Listen, states is the system in the world. It's a system to manage very large group of people.
Right, but still, what you offer, we agree that also what you offer is not a sovereign state, and also the Palestinians themselves will not accept a state which is not sovereign over 22% of the land.
I wrote an article in Haaretz, and I explained that no states are sovereign. I want to answer to you.
No state is sovereign?
No, 100% sovereign. 100%, I said. No state. Even not Israel, even not United States. They all have combination in agreement with other countries, and they don't do everything they want. The thing you have to consider the other states, because every state is powerful. No states can do whatever it wants. No one, even not United States.
So basically, if America decided to break all of its agreement, it couldn't, or it can't.
No, they couldn't.
They couldn't? If they decide they couldn't?
They couldn't. Even now, what they try to do to China in the tariff, they couldn't. Because there is also international law that United States member in this international law. They can do everything they want. Even Trump is a bit crazy man.
Okay, I think that you're dearly wrong, but I respect.
I want to answer you about one point that you talk.
By the way, America makes the rules. If you don't know, but just
it's not true. It's not. It's maybe close, but it's not 100%.
Okay.
For example, I tell you, I've been in the United States about 3 months ago. They tried to put tariff on Canada. What Canada did?
I don't know. Remind me, because I didn't follow exactly what's happening there.
Canada raised first of all, they stopped all the tourism from Canada to United States, and many businesses bankrupt. Yes. And
but let's talk about what's happening and what's relevant to our issue, and let's continue to the next question, please.
Yes. What you offer.
By the way, is it my turn or your turn to ask a question?
No, you will answer. You will ask me after.
Yeah,
but I want to tell you.
Sure. But please make it short, because we already 1 hour and we completed only almost 3 questions. It's a very interesting conversation, I must say.
Okay.
I disagree. I don't agree with almost everything that you say, but I respect you. I really do. By the way, I really do.
Thank you, Inon. Thank you. Me too.
Habibi.
What? Listen, I wrote an article that compare the situation here to the situation before the slaves in United States release.
God.
Yes, what you offer now is like an owner of slaves offer to slave.
How if I offer them residency, pathway to citizenship, and participation politically equally to any other Jew, how does it be a slave?
They want the self-determination. They don't want to be Israel.
We're gonna get to that.
No, many maybe more Israel
You know
is
what?
most
This is my fifth question. You speak about self-determination, right?
okay. Okay. So
If the wait, I want to ask you a
I
question.
can tell you one thing. Nobody in the world
Okay.
and in the state of Palestine
Uh-huh.
will accept your offer.
Okay. We will see. I mean, now
You
by
have
the
an
way,
idea
probably
about that?
now by the way,
You you have
now
some
by the way,
political
probably not, because it
you
has
have
to
some
go through a
political
long
force
it
that
has to
offer
go through
this.
a long it has to go through a long educational process before it can happen on the ground. This I agree. I mean, the failures and the wrong, I mean, the the failure of the conception that you support, the Oslo, we need the time to fix it. I agree. It will take some time to give different education, different vision. What you guys destroyed, we need to fix. It will take some time. I agree.
Okay, okay. I don't want to go into Oslo, but Oslo
It's part
exists
of Oslo.
Oslo exists. It wasn't cancelled more than 30 years. If
Unfortunately,
it
but
was
but let's
so
continue
so
to the
bad,
next. Let's continue to the next question, please.
okay. Now you all will ask me.
Yeah. From Article 19 of the Fatah Charter, by the way, the Fatah Charter, Fatah is the moderates, by the way, those that you have business with politically. For those that don't know, quote, the armed struggle is a strategy, not a tactic. And the armed revolution of the Palestinian Arab people is a decisive factor in the liberation and elimination of the Zionist presence, which means us, the State of Israel, and
I
Jewish
know.
rule here. We will not stop the struggle until the elimination of the Zionist entity and the liberation of Palestine. How do you relate to this article? What do you say to the quote unquote moderates that still believe in what I said because it's part of their political ideology? What do you say to them?
I say to them very simple answer. A lot has changed since that article was published. Both Arafat and Abu Mazen
They
has
still believe in
shifted.
it, by the way. It's still relevant, this article, by the way, and it was
I
never
know.
canceled.
Is many things in Israel it doesn't cancel. It's not it's if it's on the paper, it's if it's on the reality. Just let me finish, okay?
Sure.
So both Arafat and Abu Mazen has shifted their positions just as Menachem Begin and Ariel Sharon did on the Israeli side. Once the state of Palestine would become independent with prosperity, those terminologies, which were mainly used to mobilize the mass for struggle and for willing to die, will lose their relevance. What it really needs now is strong and courageous leadership in both nations. This is what we need now. If we will going to the Bible and to Quran and to what he said and that said, it's like a couple that what he said 2 years ago and what she said 5 years ago, it's nonsense. What we need now is good and strong leaders. This is what we need now.
Okay, but
And
you
if we
said
will have
but you said
good leaders and smart leaders,
but you said many
the peace
times.
agreement will come.
But okay. All right.
Okay.
Anyway,
Let me ask you.
now you will ask me. Yeah. Yeah. Now it's your turn to.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you what's your position regarding the Palestinian refugees' right to return? It's absolute. This is your question, isn't it?
No, this is your question. But
So okay, okay.
take time
What what is
yeah.
what is your position to the Palestinian refugees right to return? It is absolute, parallel, limit. What is how you relate to this?
Okay, very good question again. By the way, I like your questions.
Thank you.
The right
I
of
will tell you
return.
my point of view.
Huh?
Okay, I want to hear you.
Sure. Regarding the Palestinian right of return, which is something very dear to the Palestinian identity, I can accept the right of return in certain conditions too. And the way that they interpret the right of return, I have different interpretation, obviously. Because I believe in the restoration of Israeli sovereignty from the river to the sea, obviously Palestinians that live in Bethlehem, I believe in the rules and the terms that I offer. If they accept them, why not? They should go and live also in Tel Aviv and in the big cities, in, like a Palestinian in Bethlehem or Ramallah or Nablus. They accept the Jewish rule. They accept the terms and
No, very
conditions. Wait,
romantic, I
I
have to
didn't
say.
finish. I didn't finish.
Okay.
Palestinian in Bethlehem or Ramallah or Nablus that accept these terms and conditions, I have no problem that they live also in Tel Aviv, in Haifa, in Jerusalem, basically sharing their life together. If we have a one state called Israel, Be'ezrat Hashem, also according to the Torah, Ger Toshav can live anywhere that he wants with certain conditions, of course.
What is
But
Ger Toshav
but
mean?
we'll
Is
get
it
to
a
Ger
full
Toshav. Ger
right
Toshav,
citizen?
basically, according to the Torah, according to our holy Torah, Ger Toshav is a non-Jew that tied a destiny with us, accept the 7 laws of Noah, which is basically universal laws that most of the humanity already do. And if they accept that he's and tie their destiny with the Jewish rule, with loyalty, he can live with us everywhere, basically. So basically, I
Can vote?
say I
He
didn't
can vote to
finish.
the Knesset?
I didn't finish. I didn't finish. You need to be with patience with this because I didn't
Thank you.
finish. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, but like a Palestinian from Bethlehem, I believe can live in Tel Aviv. Also, a Jew from Tel Aviv and from Jerusalem, has all the rights to live in Bethlehem and Nablus and Hebron and Ramallah, and to have synagogues also in these places and have Jewish life also there. So the right of return is not only one-sided. It's not only Palestinians can live back in Tel Aviv. I am as a Jew, that my ancestors and also your ancestors came from Judea. We have also the rights and the commitment to live also in Bethlehem and Ramallah. And people from the peace industry never say that, because for them, unfortunately, Judea and Samaria, or mistakenly what they refer to as the West Bank, is not part of their homeland. And you know what? I admire Palestinians that view Palestine from the river to the sea, not only the West Bank as their homeland. And I think that we should learn from them about our identity. Now, regarding another thing about right of return, which is something that the Palestinians see as a holy issue, political issue, what about us also putting in political framework the rebuilding of the temple? Yeah? Why can't they only only speak about something which is so important to them, but we cannot speak about something which is also important and holy to us? Why not? So I say, yeah, if we speak about the right of return, it's legitimate, but also we can speak and we must put also the building of the temple also with the right of return. Yes, that's how I see
Okay,
it.
I have to say it's very, very romantic questions answer,
Thank you.
and you will have 90% of the Palestinian will support you, and about 5% from the Israeli will support you.
Even
And
5% in this stage is good, I must say.
because it's what we call Eretz Tekulam. I'm more conservative than you because
I
because
know
I know.
you're very conservative. I'm
Yeah,
traditionalist. That's the difference
yeah,
between us.
because why? Because many of the most of the Palestinians want to be citizens of Israel because the economic situation in Israel and the opportunity in Israel. I don't think because most of the Israeli here want a Jewish with a my
Rule.
with רוב יהודי here,
Majority.
majority of Judaism.
Oh, by the way, a very, very important question. Very important question. Let's assume that in the current state of Israel, after we have the two-state solution like you suggest, in the current state of Israel, there's going to be a situation that by natural fertility growth, the Muslims will be 50% of the state.
Yes.
What will you do? Will you deport them? What will you
No,
do?
no at all.
So what will you do?
Listen, what you said about Ger Toshav,
Yeah.
it was possible in the antique time. Antique
Why?
time.
Why?
Why? Because
Yeah, but why not now? Why?
I will tell you. Because in the modern states at the moment you have equal rights to everyone. This is the way that people live.
By the way, in
So
Switzerland there's also equal rights, but they have
yeah,
to go through some process
the
in order
right
to
of
get these
return.
rights.
I will tell you why a state of Palestine, a independent state of Palestine, it's very good to right of return because according to the UN law, refugee is a person that didn't find a nice place or nice country to live when he deported, after he deported. So if all the refugees will be citizens of state of Palestine, actually the problem, you can say the problem is solved. I can tell you one thing. My father was escaped from Poland, which now it's Ukraine. And they took his home. All my uncle and my grandfather and my grandmother was murdered by the Nazis.
Mine too,
And
by the
we,
way, from my Ashkenazi side of the family.
just a minute, and we, after, let's say, 70 years or more, in 2019, visit our home, in our father home in Ukraine.
Okay.
And we came, we drink a coffee, and we said, very nice place, and we came home. Listen, after 45, 46, 47, 48, maybe 50, all the world was changed. People escaped from place, millions. Now, I said, it's a new chapter now.
Okay, but I think that a lot of people will disagree.
Now I said
A lot of Muslims, by the way, that are very much connected to their traditions will disagree.
Maybe I agree with you.
And by the way, another thing regarding the right of return, another thing, if the right of return to be implemented in the solution which I present, also Jews from Arab countries that lost all of their belongings, was confiscated, they should also be confiscated.
I agree with you.
Okay, so we have agreement about something. Baruch Hashem, ishtabach shemo.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem.
Alhamdulillah.
I against the right of return, but I think to make good agreement, we have to pay some of them some money, and to the state of Palestine some money that will be a modern state.
Okay, this is something that we disagree, but let's continue on. I think we clarify this issue. Now it's my turn to ask, right? It's my turn?
Yes.
Okay, it is known that some Israeli Arabs define themselves as Palestinians. Does the right of self-determination also apply to Israeli Arabs who identify as Palestinians in the Galilee, Jaffa, and the Negev? And if so, would you support the right to self-determination and the annexation of these parts of the land of Israel to the state of Palestine? Because you said basically that that self-determination is a holy value in your eyes.
No.
So basically, but why they are not allowed to have self-determination? The Arabs in the Galilee and the Negev, and the Arabs in Judea and Samaria do. Why? What's the difference?
My answer is
you discriminate against the Arabs in the Galilee and the Negev. It sounds like discrimination to me.
Let me answer, my friend. Not at all. The Muslim citizens of Israel must, much like the Jewish or the former Israeli citizens of United States, feel connection to Israel. You see, for example, if the Muslim citizen of Israel feel connection to the state of Palestine citizens,
Okay.
It's like the Israeli or Jewish that live in the United States feel connection to Israel.
But many of them do not.
I'm talking generally.
I'm talking generally too.
Okay.
And they do not support the state of Israel.
Listen. So what I'm saying that the none of the Muslim citizens of Israel want to be part of State of Palestine, and nobody wants self-determination. Nobody.
But we speak about the what if
Even
and the
worse.
principle.
Even
We speak
worse.
about principles regarding future, something that neither you or I
Even
have control of.
Listen,
But
they are
according to your,
citizens of Israel.
but according to your values, they should also have the right to
No,
self-determination.
no, no,
And if not, you discriminate against them.
no,
No.
because they live in the legal state of Israel. They are legal and nearly equal citizens of Israel. And nobody in the world, which is very important, said, and even not them, just to argue for argument, even not the Muslims in Israel don't want self-determination. Even worse, Lieberman talked a few years ago that al-Fahem will be part of State of Palestine or Taibe or Tira or Kalanswa, and they get mad. They don't want it. So it's not really a question. It's not really a problem because they don't want. And if even you will give them self-determination, they don't want it.
Okay, we can differ, but let's go to the next question because we already almost 1.5 hours in this very interesting conversation. So now it's your turn to ask me.
Okay. You actually think you don't you I'm listening to what you said, but I will ask you this question. Do you believe that the existent identity such the State of Palestine can ever completely waive its right to self-determination and sovereignty?
No, not at all. I don't believe that they have any right for self-determination or sovereignty. And by the way, even if they were not Palestinian but Swedish or Norwegian or Eskimos, they don't have right to self-determination anywhere from the river to the sea in my land.
So you think they should be citizens of Israel?
Yes, why not?
In one time, in 50 years' time?
Maybe,
How?
I don't know. It's a question, like I told you before, of process that first need to begin and change the dynamics, and the education
you are
system,
very unique idea.
to go to it gradually, not as we say, efes lemea, not 0 to 100, and to be examined and evaluated with calculation, with responsibility. Couple of villages, then we expand it to a region, and then, why not?
I ask you another question related to these questions. You ever heard from 67 till today, more than 50 years, one someone with power, with political power that have this idea?
From which side, the Israeli or the Palestinian?
Both of them.
Yes, actually, I heard. Yes, of course, I will tell you who. From the Israeli side, some of them serve in our government. Bezalel Smotrich, by the way, and also Naftali
This is
Bennett.
his idea.
Wait, hold on. Bezalel Smotrich published תוכנית ההכרעה, which I don't agree 100%, but it's a good steps towards what I support. That's number one. Also, Naftali Bennett with the annexation plan of Area C to give the Palestinians in Area C residency and pathway to citizenship. Talking about something like between 100 and 2,100 people. Yeah. So the answer is yes. And by the way, from the Palestinian side, I came from peace activism.
They will agree with you, 100%.
I came from peace activism on the ground with Palestinians. I met not hundreds, thousands of them over coffee, and I understood what they want, and I really, really had a deep journey with their identity. And I can tell you, when Israel radiated power, when it was in the late 2020, after COVID and after the Abraham Accords, when Israel's might and prosperity was very, very big, there was more acceptance of Palestinians to be part of Israel this way or the other.
This for sure. I'm agree with you.
So it also depends.
But
So it also
I don't
depends.
think,
So
I don't think,
one thing. So it also depends on the dynamics and also what's happening on the ground. I actually believe, and I will end with that because really want to hear you, that if there were not October 7th, and if there were not the judicial reform, yes Bibi, no Bibi, there will be more, in my opinion, possibility for Palestinians themselves to accept the will of Allah, as we say, and start to be in the process and dynamic to be part of Israel. But now, because of the war, obviously, there's much more hate, unfortunately.
I know. I want to go back to one of my answer about the possibility that Israel and State of Palestine will be like a federation, because there is many ideas.
I actually really like the idea, the framework of federation model.
There is a meeting in 1 week exactly in Jerusalem. I'm speak there, and there is many people that have the federation idea. Some of them, maybe you know Abisar or Emmanuel.
Yeah, I know Emmanuel. I know also.
Yeah. Listen. We can make federation like in Europe. Why I tell you like in Europe?
You talk about confederation.
Confederation or federation,
which is more more than two sovereignties that cooperate together.
Yes,
I reject this idea, by the way, but I understand where you come from.
Okay. Listen, in Europe, they make the EU after 50 years after the war.
But by the way, it's about to crumble, and Britain also with the Brexit. It's not really a stable thing.
Britain. Many countries want to go in to the EU, then countries that want to go out. But let me complete my answer. Maybe because the Israeli and Palestinian have a lot of common, maybe after, let's say, 20, 30, 50 years, we can make some kind of federation like in Europe. But now, after we kill each other, it's impossible. It's impossible to make federation.
I also agree. I also agree with you. It's not going to happen overnight. I agree.
No, not overnight. Not overnight. You have to make. It's like in businesses. It's very similar in businesses. First, you have to make separation and to make a fun between the sizes and border.
Let's speak more about maybe separation later on. But
between
let's
State of
continue.
Israel and State of Palestine, and you have to see them as the same level you see yourself. You can't treat them like a slave.
We're talking about the slave. Why do you point to me that I talk to them like slaves? Why?
Because you said, I will check you. I will trust you. Have to trust you. I have to give you the opportunity.
Don't I deserve to trust? I mean, to establish some kind of a dynamic without trust?
No.
And you also with the two-state solution, would you do the two-state solution without trust?
I would do it with trust, but with the same level. I put them on the same level. You see, I've been in Ireland, in big conferences. The main reason they solved the problem after 800 years of wars, when they put all the sides on the same level. You have to put, you are State of Israel, they are State of Palestine. Now we're talking.
Okay, I think that the mistake.
Just a minute, let me finish. You can't put them here and you here, and you said, listen, I want you 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you're not, you can go hell.
Okay, you know what? So regarding that, also the Arabs in Israel, basically, You know,
No,
they are living under Israeli rule in the state of Israel that you recognize.
they're full
They
citizens.
also under what you
No,
refer to as
no, they have the
slavery.
same.
No, they're not under slavery.
No,
Because I speak about the
no,
same
not at
term.
all.
Because
They
I
have,
speak about
maybe,
no
maybe
no
you
no no
can
no
take
no
two laws.
because I speak about the same terms and conditions to the Arab Israelis and to the Palestinians in Israel too, in what I see as division. But let's continue forward. And by the way, before we continue forward, why all the time people from your paradigm like to equate our situation and our conflict to other conflict in the world, like it's all the same? It's not all the same. This is a
It's not.
unique conflict,
It's not all the
like the
same,
conflict,
but it's similar.
no, it's not similar. Like the conflict in South Africa has unique tendencies where 20% of the population ruled over 80% and based on racial segregation. And in Ireland, it was something completely different. And in, I don't know, India and Pakistan, something completely different. This conflict is also unique. It's not the same. Don't compare what's happening in our land to other places in the world. Understand the idea of uniqueness. It's not the same. It's not equal. It's
Not.
different.
It's
But
different.
let's please continue to the next question. Please go ahead.
No, just a minute. Let me answer you.
To the last
Sure.
question, because we are running so much, and
We can
it's one.
finish actually because
No,
from my
but
point
it's
of view,
but the
it's
one
many.
very important question that I want you to ask me,
Okay.
and I want to
Okay.
ask you too.
Okay, I want to tell you that all the conflicts are unique and all the conflicts are the same.
What?
You know what I mean? Every conflict is unique, but there have also many similar points. This is my point of view, and I think it's if I will be in charge, I can solve this problem
I will
in
say
few
with all due
days.
respect, chas v'shalom. But you say to
Okay.
me the same. But you know,
But this will be the okay. What do you want to ask me?
the last question you need to ask me, and then I will ask you the last question.
I think I asked you the question. What you mean? You went a swap agreement?
Yeah, I think it's a very important question.
Assuming the length swap agreement that includes voluntary evacuation framework from those countries rising deep within State of Palestine, complete with generous compensation, alternative housing, and community assessment. What the percentage of Israeli settlers in the State of Palestine that live in State of Palestine do you believe will agree to return to reside of Israel?
I hope that most of them will say no, and I will support them to say no. But regarding this question, according to your logic, maybe it's fair that we also say to the Arabs living in Israel, evacuate, you go live in the State of Palestine. And it's going to be, you know, like you support basically the State of Palestine with no Jews. Why not do the same also in the State of Israel? It's only fair according to your logic, no?
No.
I mean, the Arabs living in Umm-el-Fachem and Wadi Ara and the Negev and the Galilee. I mean, maybe we should put it also the same, you know, to sweep them and make land swaps also and transfer. So basically, you legitimize transfer to Jews. You should also legitimize transfer to Arabs, no? For
No.
peace, no?
I tell you why not.
Why not?
First of all, I will tell you from what I know.
And by the way, another thing, why is it just in your opinion that the State of Palestine will be Judean with no Jews? Why?
I will tell you why.
Why?
Maybe there will be an option, I'm not sure about it, that the Israeli that stay there will be citizens of State of Palestine. If they
Okay,
will,
we
you
can
know,
now.
in
Maybe we
Nablus,
can
just
talk.
a
Okay,
minute.
okay.
In Nablus, there is Jews that live even before 67. Shomronim, if you know.
Yeah, I know the Shomonim. Great
Yes.
community.
Yes, very nice community. And the Israeli that live in State of Palestine are not the citizens of the State of Palestine. They actually, by law, you don't like it, by law, they are war criminal.
But again,
By law, they
a
are
lot
very
of
nice people.
Palestinians living
They
in
are
Israel
very nice
define
people,
themselves as
but
Palestinians.
by law, they are war criminal. The Israeli Muslim citizen live here. They are citizens of Israel.
Yeah, but if they want to be
not-
self-determined as Palestinians,
They, if they,
and a lot of them do, by the way, actually, yeah.
I don't think.
I really think that you ignore the way that they
say
see themselves, to be honest.
Say, for example, the United States will say to all the black people, if you want to go back to Africa, I'll pay each of them $1 million.
But why even talk about go back to where you came from? Why not talking about how we
Because they are
do a
not
different dynamics regarding the current reality?
Because they are not citizens of State of Palestine. You compare something, it's not the same. The Muslims that live in Israel, they are citizens of Israel. What you suggest, after we will gain independence of State of Palestine, all the Israel, it's possible. I don't think it will work, but it's possible.
You know
all
what?
Just a minute. All the Israelis that live now in State of Palestine, maybe most of them, I think about 90,000 people, only 90,000 people have to go back from State of Palestine to Israel. Let's say they want to stay in their home. Let's say. But they have to be citizens of State of Palestine. They have to pay taxes to the State of Palestine. They have to go to health insurance in State of Palestine. Maybe they have to go to the army of State of Palestine. With all my respect, I don't think it works.
You know what? You know what? Regarding what you say, let's play the what if game, okay? If the State of Palestine will say, you know what? Jews can live here. We're gonna also have Hebrew in our streets. We're also gonna build synagogues for the Jews that are gonna live in the State of Palestine.
It's up to them.
Wait. Maybe I will change my mind. Maybe, just maybe. But I don't think it's gonna happen. And to be honest, I don't think.
First of all, I agree with you.
I don't think.
I agree with you. I don't think either it will be happened. Why? Because Israeli that live in State of Palestine all the time going armed. After they will stay in State of Palestine as a citizen of State of Palestine, they wouldn't be possible that they will have guns.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that your idea of a Palestinian statehood is very inconsistent. To be honest, I mean,
why?
I think again, number one, they will not have really sovereignty. Number two,
what?
They will not have sovereignty. Right?
We then have 100% sovereignty.
They will have 100% sovereignty?
No.
So they will not.
Maybe 50%.
So we agree that you also agree that they will not have sovereignty. It's not really going to be a state anyway.
Luxembourg have 100% sovereignty?
I don't think they're going to be Luxembourg. But anyway.
No, just a minute. Japan have 100% sovereignty?
I don't know much about Japan, but I think that
Japan can make a bomb attack.
I think that until the 70s or the 80s, they didn't have sovereignty, but I think that now they do. I'm not sure because I didn't examine. I will not say something that I didn't check.
What I'm trying to say, the sovereignty is going from 0 to 100. It's never 0 and it's never 100. In the world, there is agreements between states and countries and people. Even for myself, I'm not sovereignty. If I want to make pee-pee in my train.
You're not sovereign to do pee-pee in the train. Who decides for you when to do pee-pee? Come on, man.
No, in the middle of the train.
Not in the middle. There's rules. You go. But anyway, listen. It's a very long conversation that we had.
Okay.
We need to wrap it up. I suggested what we do with respect. I really respect this conversation. I think that this is, by the way, even if we disagree, the way that we conduct this conversation. I hope that other people will watch it, and even if they
Thank you.
disagree
Thank you.
between themselves, they will still have the amounts of dignity. You have a lot of dignity. I hope that I had a lot of dignity to you, and to conduct, this conversation from place of differences. This was very, very important for me to say, and I respect you.
I respected you too, and thank you for having me. And at the end, I would say,
Yeah, and
I
regarding
wish.
Dan, I want to give you not more than 1 minute to conclude, and I will also have 1 minute to conclude, and we wrap it up. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you.
Thank you.
And I think your idea, some Israeli have this idea. It's very romantic idea. I don't, as a consultant, I don't see even 0.5% possible to be. My point of view is coming from the international law and from the way that all the states and the country in the world see it. And I think state, it's not more than legal system to manage big group of people, not more than this. And it's not connect to religion, and it's not connect even to history. Thank you.
And with all due respect, exactly the same way that you say that it's not connected to history and religion, I think completely the opposite way, because I do think that the source of the problem here is all about religion and all about tradition and history. And if we will not give an answer regarding theology and history, we will not solve the conflict also politically. But we disagree. But anyway, I want to tell our viewers, after watching this debate, this conversation actually, more than debate, write to us in the comments, what do you agree, what do you disagree, and that's it. I think it's about time to say goodbye. So without more, follow Jewish Dawa on Instagram, and Be'ezrat Hashem, Yevarchechem Hashem Mitzion U'Betuv Yerushalayim.